Hello guys, my name is Michael and welcome to a new tutorial. And today we are going to apply CSS to our GTK frame widget. So let's see and which kind of CSS styles we can apply. So that being said, I already have it here. We are on the GtkFrame, description and CSS. CSS nodes are, as you can see, the main is the frame one, and then of course with the frame we can set a lot of things directly, or you can set to its border and label, of course, also. That being said, let us see how the program looks like. As you can see, I reduced a little bit the code so that we can concentrate ourselves only and only to our I will reduce it much more because this part we also don't need it. So now we have created a window, and then we have created a frame, and then we are setting some properties like a name, and then those two are links, and of course a border we are setting, and of course we are saying that window, it is the parent of this frame. Okay, like we already learned in the properties tutorial of the GTK frame. Now let me compile it and run it and see what happens. And yes, okay, I need to remove this bar, so it is now much more smaller. I will compile it and run it. And as you can see, I choose a default color for our window, and here is our frame. As you can see, what is very important here, now this frame defaults to black and its border to white. Another important thing is, you see, we are setting the background of this window, like you can see here. It is only the Windows background set, and it is basically getting the whole window. You see, the whole window, it's set to this color, even the frame itself and its child and so on. So basically this is a thing which probably you don't want to have it, so or maybe you want to have it, maybe you don't. We are going to talk about how we can change these things so that we can have them in a better example. Okay, so that being said, let's go back to our CSS node and says frame. Okay, so let's take the frame and let's set some background color. Let's set it to orange. Let me compile and run it and see what exactly changed, because this is very important. We are set the frame to yellow. So basically it took all this place and set it to yellow. This is what frame did when we choose to set its background. Okay, now let's set color to red and see which kind of color it will be set to red. As you can see, the name of the frame, it is this time set to red, which is good. Now the next thing, we are going to set a border of, let's say, 5 pixels, and of course let's put it no comma, solid. Let's compile it and run it. This time you see this border here, it's bigger, and now it is also red. You see, the border is red. So this means this color. How about if I choose now black? Now defaults to black, and also the text too. So basically the color which you choose is the color which it sets the border to black, and also sets a color to your text. Okay, so basically this does this thing. I'll set it back to red. Let's set now a border color directly. Okay, okay, color, and we are going to set now also red. So let me put it here black for a moment. As you can see, now we have the color is red and the border is red and the color of the text is black, as you already saw in here. Now I put them both to red because I'm not interested about these different kinds of things here. We are going to set a label later, and of course, I know, let's set some padding to, let's say, 30 pixels. Now I compile it and run it, and Houston, we have a problem, and the problem is the red one. It's missing its semicolon. So now we pushed our frame down here. It's not taking so much room. As you can see, we have this difference from here to here. Okay, so basically this is the frame. Next thing, let's see what's the story with the border. So frame, and then we are accessing its border, and we are going to say background color. Let's change it, background color. Let's change it to blue, for example. Now, as you can see, we have another color here, which is the color where the child inside goes. Just remember. So basically now we have three different colors. We have the window color, we have the frame color, and we have the frame border where the child comes. Okay, that being said, let's move to something else. Let me copy the border part here to here to make it solid. So basically you see now the border is solid, but let us change it to something else. I don't know, let's say brown. I'm compile it and run it so that we can make difference. As you can see now, now we have our window, and then we have our frame. Frame has a border which is red, and the border gets brown. It's a little bit creepy. Anyway, the next thing, it is the label. Label, basically, I think you already know, it is a label, which means a text. This one right here, we're going to fix it so that it is different from everything. So we are going to say frame, and then get its child, which is label, a subnode, and then we are going to set a color of green, for example. Let's say green. Let's compile it and run it and see what happens now. Now you see here we have a green border, which is right there where the text is. This is the background of the label. Of course, we can set the color. Let's set it to white, which looks better. Now we have a white text with a green background. Of course, we can change the font size to something bigger, let's say 15 pixels, so that we see it better. You see, the same thing happens now with the font weight. Let's set it to, I don't know, bold. We are setting the font to bold. Okay, let me compile it and run it, and now you can see it better. Okay, the next thing, what can we, let's put some padding This is very interesting. This is a thing which you really need to understand. Let's put again 30 pixels, and then before you use it, let me show you something. I will compile it and run it. Watch the space which gets this frame starting from up here, and the way how it is now adjusted, and watch what happens now when we set this padding also. Not using its deprecated boom, boom. What? Yes, of course, because I forgot pixels. Okay, now watch. You see how the different is now? You see how bigger it became now, because we are setting the padding of the frame to 30, so this one got bigger. But don't forget, we already set another padding with the frame itself. So basically, if you comment out this part, then it takes no place. So watch, you see, now took all the place up to the border here. So basically this is the difference which makes the frame padding and the label padding. So now our text looks somehow like this, our frame label, and of course now we can set border radius if you want to. I don't know, radius, border radius, set it to, let's say 50%, so that it looks nicer. And now we have this nice border radius right here, and of course you can set the border if you want to do it the same, let's say 5 pixels and solid, so that the border, it is better to be seen. As you can see, it is defaults to white. We are going to change this, of course, by setting the border color, and we are going to set this one to, let's say, black. And now we basically set everything we need to know, and everything we need to set when we start, or when we begin to style our GtkFrame widget. So basically we are styling almost everything we need. If there is something, or if I missed something which is also important, I don't think now, but anyway we can discuss in a future tutorial, or maybe in the comment section. So that being said, we saw today how we can set up or how we can apply styles to this frame. You should know that things which you are applying are things which you should know where do you exactly need a color. For example, if I comment out the color part right here, it will take this color because the frame has its color and the frame has its border color. So this thing will be now red. So don't try to use the color directly to the frame when you want to set the color on your widget level, or on your level, like here. You see, now we have a different story. So basically you don't need that color there. The setting goes with a lot of other things like the border and so on. Just do it directly here and you're fine. I think we covered everything, I hope so. And the very important thing which you need to know is that this frame, once that you set those CSS styling, I go back here, then you see exactly where it's the position of your frame, based on those styles or properties which you choose, so that once that you set these colors, you can perfectly align or change your widget to something which you want to have it in just one color. So after you do that and you are sure that it is looked right, then you can just drop those colors by changing them to default to maybe to this one here. So basically the frame should be now not orange, the border should not be blue, and the label should not be what it was. So basically we killed it because we need this one to watch. Now you see how it looks like. And of course if you remove the border and so on, then it is only the frame here and your border there. But I think you understood what I was trying to explain you. So that being said, I think it's enough for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like it, please subscribe, share with your friends and neighbors, and until next time, see you guys.